In early March 2024, some friends and I wandered again into the eastern Superstitions for another trip to Toney's cabin and Haunted Canyon. After a few hours' toil over a saddle and into Haunted Canyon, we arrived at our campsite in the vicinity of Toney Ranch Spring, the cabin, and the ephemeral stream that flows through the area. Legend says the name Haunted Canyon may be in reference to an old Indian story about the canyon. According to author Thomas Killenborn, there is an Apache tale about how the sun introduces the sky to the wind. When the sun hides and the sky becomes dark, the wind blows through Haunted Canyon, calling to the dead. Or, as the author continued, perhaps because a rancher found a skeleton of a bear in the nearby cave. The cave was filled with stone arrowheads, again attesting to the use of the canyon by the Apache or other early inhabitants of the area. With more research, I learned that William Toney, who homesteaded the nearly 78 acres for sorghum, wheat, beans, and apples, raised cattle, hogs, and chickens, and built a sturdy cabin that still stands 100 years later. He also found time to father 8 children. Alarmingly, his wife died at age 49, just 4 years after their youngest child was born, while the Toneys still occupied the ranch. And 3 of Mr. Toney's children died in their 20s. We took water from the same spring Toney's family and livestock had decades earlier, looked for and found the cave that may have held the aforementioned bear skeleton. Perhaps the most haunting thing about this canyon, the stream, the cabin, the cave, and its rich history, is the adjacent mining operation which threatens its existence. It has been alleged that the mine intends to push its margins to within the boundary of the wilderness area. The mine is also the largest consumer of surface and groundwater in the area, which has led to declining production from the nearby springs and lower outflow from the canyon drainages. There is strikingly obvious infrastructure near the end of the canyon where the mine extracts water from the creek. Pipes, pumps, tanks, and tangles of barbed wire that define the end of the wild backcountry and the beginning of unfettered exploitation. Scary indeed. I spent some time admiring the clear, cool stream that flows through the area, giving rise to sycamores, oaks, and cottonwoods. I wondered what life may have been like for a family in this remote part of Arizona a century ago. Would the novelty of this forest, this creek, the cave, and the solitude have been admired as much by the pioneers as it is by my friends and I? Did Mr. Toney sit beside the creek and contemplate how to be a better father, husband, and friend? What I do know is that the area is special, and its preservation should concern more than the folks who recreate here, or the historians who care for its history, or the Forest Service who's entrusted with its oversight. I look forward to visiting this place again and expect the next generation and their friends to have the same experience, listening to its water, enjoying the smell of its leaves, and admiring the brilliance of its horizon.